Good afternoon, everyone. We're on break here at the federal courthouse, downtown Portland, Oregon. I'm out here on Patriot Corner. I'll get you some good views of all of our signs out here. So again, we're down here on Patriot Corner. We're on break. We've had witnesses all morning. So we've got a jury nullification sign there. And then we've got this great big sign. Hopefully you all can see that and see what we've got here. That really makes a statement, I think. There's our jury nullification again. There's a few of us that are out here right now that haven't went to lunch. There's Jason. You did awesome today, Jason.
Looking good.
Yep, it's looking good. Jason's sister, his mom came down too. Hi, how you doing? That's Jason's mom.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for testifying today. You did awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. So we've got a sign there, Free the Patriots. Tell everybody your name.
My nom de plume is Maggie Rose McGrath.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for...
And you got a show, don't you, that people
yes,
can go
I do.
to?
It's on Revolution Radio, which is www.freedomslips.com. And my website is www.theconcordshow.com, which is like the battle at Concord and Lexington. That's when the British were coming to take away the muskets and the weapons of our patriots and our colonials. And they had the battle at Concord and Lexington to stop the British from taking away what would have been their Second Amendment rights.
Well, thanks. And tell everybody again that website one more time, or that how to find you anyway.
Okay, I'm on Mondays and Tuesdays. Monday mornings from 9 to 11 Pacific Standard Time, 12 to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Revolution Radio, which is www.freedomslips.com. Studio A on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday nights I'm in Studio B. And my website is www.theconcordshow.com. www.theconcordshow.com. That's my website. Contact me there.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Mark Hayward. I see you posted that there on the page too. Here's Dale Seals.
Thanks everybody for joining us here today on Patriot Corner. We'll be here until 5:30 today, so we're looking forward if you can come join us.
Yeah,
thanks. How many are on, John?
We've got 61 so right
61.
now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's building up. 62.
On a Thursday afternoon.
Yes.
You're here with us, so
yes.
Thank you for joining in. Invite a friend, and we'll be here for a John Lamb live update. Thing we look forward to every day.
Thanks.
Thank
And here's Sarah.
Hello, Patriots. Well, we're here because we love America, and here because we love our Patriot friends, and it feels like Damon and Ryan and everybody else is on trial here again. I actually think that is what they want here. I think that they're retrying, which is unconstitutional, but when does that ever stop them? And if they get a guilty verdict here, then they'll use it to diminish the strength of the case in Nevada. They're not supposed to go case to case. They say they don't, but nothing is as they present it to be here. They're all fake, fake cut judge, fake court, fake marshals, fake FBI, fake police. It's just too bad. You know, we're here because we're for real government.
Fake media.
We're here to support our real president. Real president, President Donald Trump. Woohoo!
Yes.
And
Grab it by the liberty.
That's right.
If we had a Hillary Clinton president, we'd probably all be running and hiding right now.
Yes.
It's really important that needs to also be stressed. Sergeant Moe, you and I both served in the military and the Army, and we took an oath to the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I am really concerned about, and I think this was brought up in the trial yesterday with Daryl Thorne, we need you to know, Mr. and Mrs. America, and those of our friends across the pond, we are not anti-government. We are not anti-government officials or employees. What we are is anti-corruption. We are not violent. We are not doing the things that George Soros is having people. He's paying them. to burn cars and destroy buildings and people's private property in the way of their protesting. We are not about violence. We do not advocate violence. We remove ourselves from anything that appears to be violent. I didn't serve in the military for over 35 years because of the fact that I wanted to shoot somebody. I'm a nurse. I was a combat medic. And many of my brothers and sisters out there will attest to you the fact is that the Second Amendment is there for us if we need to use it against a tyrannical government. We then have the right to be able to defend ourselves. If you remember when they were ambushed and Lavoy Finnegan was assassinated, okay, no matter how much they were shooting at them, even as it came around the corner and landed in the snowbank, none of them shot back, and yet there were firearms that were reported to have been in the vehicle on the floorboards, and 45 reported to be on the seat between Lavoy and Ryan. Not one of them picked up arms and fired back. That's not what we're about. Unfortunately, Lavoy gave his life to try to prevent others in that car from being murdered, and to him, you know, he's a hero to us. So we just want people out there that are listening to this. We thank John Lamb and everything for he's doing.
Yeah.
We are not anti-government. We are anti-corrupt government. We are anti-big government that gets so big they get out of control and they're self-serving. We are not terrorists, and that was something Daryl Thorne wanted to be brought up yesterday. We are not domestic terrorists. We are not terrorists. We are not anti-government. We are not haters. Unfortunately, there are people out there that are in the government. They want to get their promotions. They want to get their tenure. They want to get their retirement. They too want to feed their families like we do. And therefore, they're doing whatever it takes. And if you don't remember your history, remember what happened in Vietnam and My Lai. Remember what happened in the Nuremberg trials. Just because you're given orders to do something doesn't mean you have to do it, especially if it's an illegal order. Know that we need our political prisoners to be sent back to their families. They have livelihoods and families too. Show some compassion. Let them go. That's the whole reason we're all out here volunteering. Mr. Lamb is volunteering. All of our supporters out here are volunteering. We're taking our own time and effort to come out here, our own resources, to try to get the message out to you, the message that the controlled media will not give you. CNN will not give you this. MSNBC will not give you, even Fox News will not give you the truth of what's going on, because the government will not allow their editors to report the truth. Because if they try to, they're going to lose their licenses. So they sit on the fence and they don't tell you, the American people, and those of you around the world, what's really going on here, folks. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thanks.
I wanted to say something about the Second Amendment. So it is true that we have guns for various reasons, and one of them, in my estimation, is to protect our country from foreign enemies. We could have Russians on the one side and Chinese on the other, the Atlantic, the Pacific. You know, they're not necessarily our friends. They're certainly not our allies. If they have a vote on the UN Security Council or not, that doesn't really matter. As Americans, if we experience a foreign invasion, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives are all going to be picking up the firearms, 100 million of us who have them, and fighting side by side to fend off foreign invasion, along with the military and along with our police and our United States sheriffs and our government. You know, that's the purpose of guns here. It's not, in my estimation, to protect ourselves from our government. If we really got that bad, I mean, it appears like that to some people here. I don't think we're there yet. I think that then if it really got that bad, then we should all just quit. We're not America any longer. You know, we lost our country if that's the case. We keep our guns for self-protection and for protection from foreign enemies. Not really domestic enemies. Those are the criminals among us. But we certainly do have enemies around the world. And you just try the nation state of Iran, which is a fake government. They're not really legitimate because they're just a terrorist sponsoring nation state. But they have said that they will come here and they will kill us on our soil. Well, the reason they haven't done it is because we're armed, bless God. And that's really the reason I think that most of us are so pro Second Amendment. It's because we cherish our right to live here as free people, walk around and not have those threats on our country as a body politic as a whole ever come to fruition, because they know that we're going to pick up our arms and get them first. If anybody goes down, it's not Americans, it's our enemy, America's enemies.
Thanks, Sarah.
Just to capture that, your liberties, your God-given rights, under the constitutional law as well, your faith, everything. It's not a bipartisan issue. We're all Americans. Our Second Amendment rights, not a bipartisan issue. It's not politics. So stop politicking your liberties away. Stop politicking your God-given rights away. And come together as American citizens and be ready to stand against both foreign and domestic enemies.
Exactly. Thanks for serving our country.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. You know? Never do it again.
There's our mascot, Lassie. There we go.
Okay, now say something.
Say hi, Hi, Lassie.
Bundy strong.
I'm gonna come over here to David. David come out and prayed in front of the courthouse again today, and as he does every day down here, and he did it during the first trial also. This morning, well, they wrote David a citation again yesterday, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So they wrote
Within 1 hour of me getting here, they had one all prepared already for me.
So that makes four citations now in the last 6 months or something like that. During
The last one was for failure to appear for the other three.
That's right. A while ago, I went in there earlier to go to court, and they was talking about David, trying to get him. They was talking among themselves, and I overheard the conversation. They said that that David was up on the porch of the federal building, and they wanted to remove him, and they was discussing how they was going to go about to do it. I mentioned to them, I said, didn't you already write him 4 citations and he hasn't done nothing about it yet? And he said, well, we're about to take him to jail. I said, I think he's outside waiting. But
The only way I can go into a courtroom is get a drug in there.
yeah.
Then we can have fun.
Well, thanks, David, for being down here and standing.
You betcha. Whatever the Lord's got for me, that's what I'm here for.
Yep.
I would like to say that as far as I'm concerned, that Second Amendment is not a right, a duty, and it ain't to protect ourselves, it's to protect our neighbors. They come to your door, we meet them head on, just talk with them. Hopefully your neighbor's got a beat on them. And if they take you to court, hopefully your neighbor's there to defend your character. And if they come to your neighbor's house, get a beat on them and be there to defend your neighbor's character. So I don't consider it a right to protect yourself. It's a duty to protect your neighbor.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
That's a true American.
I'm going to show the jury nullification sign. I know you seen the other big sign a while ago, but this is our big jury nullification sign. See if we can get all that in there. So we've got know your rights as a juror. No crime, no victim. Who is hurt? Who is suffering? So this one makes a big statement. One of the jurors mentioned this morning that they seen protesters out here, that they seen signs and stuff, and the judge asked them this morning, did it affect their mind or their ability to continue in the case, and they said no. But one of the jurors definitely noticed our signs this morning and brought that up to the judge. Oh, here we go. We got to get some of the Ryan family in here too.
How's it going, John?
Doing good. You gonna say hi, Jubal?
How's it going, guys?
Another Montana guy.
Yep, enjoying the courtroom. Actually, it was a lot of fun to watch
It
happened. And it was really intriguing to watch Ammon stand up to the judge. He did a perfect job. I was very pleased.
Yeah, Ammon. Woo! Yeah.
Jubal, don't forget your mom.
And my mother, she did amazing.
She
Yeah.
did. She did.
Even the prosecutor said it was the best witness we had, the defense team had.
Oh yeah, one of the FBI agents said that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they didn't even cross-examine her at all. They didn't ask her no questions.
I know, they
It
were
was
freaked
quiet.
out.
You could hear.
That was strategic right there.
You
not
could
to
hear a
even
pin
say
drop.
anything to her. Yep.
Back to Montana.
That was awesome.
We love you guys. We gotta head back to Montana. We'll be back Sunday night. I guess I'm testifying Monday morning.
Okay.
Spread the word, stay
in
positive,
there.
as Jake would say.
Yes.
Not guilty is the word we send upward.
Oh, we got to get your picture too. Look at that beautiful hair.
It's too much.
She's the poodle of the family.
And right above her is Ammon's window.
Okay.
Okay. See you guys later.
See you
Love
later.
you guys.
Right up here above me is where Ammon Bundy is at. I know that Ryan is supposedly up there too somewhere, but this is out in front of the jail.
Ryan Payne.
Oh, Ryan Payne. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Say Ryan Payne.
We even Judge Anna Brown messed up their names.
Oh yeah.
She kept calling Ryan Bundy for Ryan Payne. And I'm the worst with names. So here's some more of our signs. We got we got to get this one. Here's a brand new sign out here. God bless our Patriots. So we got quite a few people mingling around down here. There's our favorite pie maker. Brand's up here on the phone. We'll sneak another picture of Jason there.
Pictures or video?
Video.
Here. Hey, it's the Patriots.
Sister, mom, and brother.
Mom, my sister.
Descending on Portland.
Mom came and testified today.
That was a rough testimony.
Yeah. It was a tearjerker.
Yeah.
Pretty pleased with your son? Are you pretty pleased with your son?
Oh, yes. Yes.
You got a fine son there to be proud of. So we'll get you some more pictures of the rest of our signs, and I'll try to do you a quick update. We'll have you another update here a little bit later. To finish up, I'll get a few of the signs around here. We've got Joe Robertson down here. He's still sitting in jail in Inglewood, Colorado. And these are the 4 defendants that are on trial here at the moment. We've got a sign down here for Ammon, and we've got one for Ryan Payne over here. So there's a little bit of our signs. I'm going to turn this camera around and give you a quick update here. So the day we had a big day planned for court. You got something?
Yeah, I wanted to say.
Yeah, come over here. I'm going to start doing a court update here. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say that I represent the theater world because I graduated from the Juilliard School. So don't think that everybody here is, one and only one type of person. I am very creative. I've worked in a lot of shows up in New York City, and I have 2 degrees and blah, blah, blah. But I also represent the OFF, Organized Fishermen of Florida, who in the 90s lost their right to catch fish through Ban the Nets agenda. And I hope everybody can look that up there in the state of Florida. And my dad is one of the people that, like the Bundys, were pulled over by the Fish and Wildlife, actually, while he was working at night pulling in his nets. And a couple times he was pulled over 3 times. 3 times in one night, and fined and harassed by the Fish and Wildlife Services of Florida. And so I'm representing OFF today, and I'm also, Free the Hammonds, because they have a lot in common with my dad, and that's why I'm here, because I know what happens when the government overreaches and you lose an entire industry. Now, all I'm saying is I wanted to bring some...
I'm glad you did, because there's something that my family grew up fishing.
Right. Let's talk about that.
In the 60s and 70s.
We think our family knows each other.
Yeah, I had several family members in jail different times throughout the 60s and 70s, especially the 70s and 80s. They were starting to get locked up for commercial fishing. So we have a lot in common there, and many stories for years.
I have one story, though, that I'd like to mention is Lynn Johnson, my dad's best friend. He was actually a Cherokee Indian gentleman who fished along with my dad in the Banana River. And he had a heart attack right after the bill was passed for Ban the Nets. And I just thought I'd mention that because people need to know this is not just about politics. Politics affect your life and the people that you love in a way that if your identity is being squashed by the government, You have no idea what it's like. I was up in school in Juilliard when it was happening. My dad would call me pretty much every day, and we would both cry on the phone about all the travesty of getting the entire state of Florida to vote against us for being commercial fishermen. So my point is that, you know, here I am being in the theater world, and nobody has any connection to what I was going through. It was a very difficult time for me to see my identity, what I'm proud about, being completely squashed. And then all the docks in the state of Florida along the coast, they're completely they're falling apart. They're sold. Like my family, the Sembler dock was turned into Squid Lips, which is in Sebastian, Florida. It is heartbreaking.
It definitely
heartbreaking.
is.
So all the men that suffered and even died because of the bill that was passed through with ban the nets, the same thing can happen with anything that happens in Oregon against the ranchers.
Well, the loggers have been put out of business, the fishers. This is a nationwide thing that's happened all over.
It's nationwide. I don't think it's just Oregon.
Joe Robertson.
Yeah, but Joe Robertson
Show the
digging
picture.
a pond.
Show the picture of Joe Robertson.
I did, yes.
And by the way, my dad is a marine biologist,
Yeah.
and he did not catch dolphins and turtles, as they said, in the nets.
No.
Did your family ever catch
No.
dolphins and turtles in their nets?
No.
No.
We used to, we used to try
Or
to get,
polar bears.
we caught some of the turtles sometimes and took them home and put them in the yard.
Okay.
But not in the nets, we didn't.
But you're like more in the center, right?
Yes,
like
we was in
Okeechobee.
Okeechobee, St. Cloud, Kissimmee.
My folks from West Palm Beach and Sebastian, Indian River.
Well, thanks a lot for sharing that. I appreciate it. Yes.
All right.
So remember to pray for these guys.
Yes. This is Jake Ryan. I know it's coming backwards on your screen there because how we have it right now, but Jake Ryan, Jason Patrick, Dwayne Emmer, Daryl Thorne. That's why we're down here.
Flip it upside down. That's what they are. Turn it over. You'll see. Not guilty.
Oh, not guilty.
Yeah, just flip it.
Oh, there we go.
And it's backwards too, but
Not guilty. There we go. So, we got a ton of signs down here, thanks to Dale and everybody. Everybody's been bringing them down here, but a lot of these have been put in a lot of hard work on these signs. I know that for a fact. Some of them we used through the first trial too. Well, I'll try to give you a quick update, real short for now, on the final day, what we've had so far today in the court here. We had a ton of witnesses today that was supposed to be called. The first thing the prosecutors did to get in today is try to eliminate all of those witnesses we had. We had close to 15 witnesses that we could have brought in today. Instead of having 15, we had less than 6. I think we had 5 right now is all we've got to bring in. Some of these witnesses were brought up on the stand, and they were pre-screened out of the jurors, out of the presence of the jurors. One witness gave his testimony for 20 minutes outside the ears of the jurors, and they pre-screened him, and they took his 20-minute testimony down to 3 minutes is all he was allowed to testify to. And he was at the refuge. He participated in the refuge. He helped out with things. He took in the donations and brought them down and gave them to Dwayne Emmer. And all of this stuff was kept out of the ears of the jurors. So, even with saying all that, we feel very, very good about what's going on. We feel that the jurors are getting the message really clearly, even if the prosecution is fighting us so hard to keep this evidence from being heard from the jurors. The witnesses, or the jurors, are understanding that these witnesses are being shut down. There was Barbara Berg testified, a very emotional testimony, and several times that she brought up, again, Lavoy Finicum, or brought up certain situations that were going on at the refuge. She was shut up. These things are already in the evidence. It shouldn't be shut up. Everybody knows it. It's for a fact. The media even reported on it. So why can't the jurors hear those things that are being told? So we're out of court officially for the rest of the day. The judge sent the jurors home until Monday. We have one more day of witnesses, and the defense team says they are going to be finished on Monday at some point. They may start with closing arguments on Monday, for sure on Tuesday, and finish up on Tuesday, and maybe even go into the hands of the jurors on Tuesday afternoon at some point. The judge told them for sure the jurors will be deliberating on Wednesday. She wants this done. She took our witnesses down from probably another 20, 25 witnesses that we had. These witnesses, for one thing, also were called here. They had, at taxpayers' expense, they had hotels, plane tickets, all kinds of other expenses. They were sitting here waiting to testify. They were up here in a room just waiting to come in, and the judge strict every one of these witnesses a day and only allowed us to have like 5 witnesses. But with all that being said, we still feel very good about it. We feel that the jurors are still getting bits and pieces of the truth, even if it's not the whole thing. And we feel that a great outcome is going to come of this. And this case could be over with as soon as this week. I don't see them taking a couple of weeks to deliberate here. It's been a short trial, pretty much. It's things have been compacted. They've got to listen to it. What we're waiting for now is these closing arguments from the defense team. And we know that the prosecutors are planning on giving as hard of a knock to the closing arguments they can. They're acting very angry the last few days. They're very irritated. Even the judge is irritated. So to me, that's a good sign that they are losing. So we're excited down here. We'll try to have you another update a little later on this afternoon, give you some more on the court, and try to over the weekend here have some other updates. But for sure, Monday again, we'll be back in court with the final witnesses in this case, and then with closing arguments. I appreciate everybody for joining us. I know it's been a long live stream here, but we've had a lot of good people down here joining us, and from all over, and we're excited today. We really are. And Monday's going to be a big day, another big day. I encourage everybody to go watch some live streams over there in Nevada. I haven't been following it as close as I can, but being here in Oregon, I will be going to Nevada as soon as we get a verdict. I'll be back over to Nevada and helping them over there. There's some great people over there doing reporting, and I appreciate them. And I know that some great people are standing strong over there. We've got some great men over there that are sitting in jail without bond, that haven't got a chance to be home with their families for the last 13 months. And so it's time to get them guys home and get their some not guilty verdicts also. So we appreciate it, and we let you go for now, and thank you, and God bless. Good afternoon, everyone. We're down here at Patriot Corner and in front of the jail, and we are right here next to the federal courthouse. We've got quite a few people down here tonight where it's after court, and I'll turn the camera around here in a minute. We're hollering up to Ryan Payne and Ammon Bundy. So both of them are still here. Ryan Bundy and Ammon Bundy and Ryan Payne have not left the jail yet, we've been told. One of the prisoners that was held here for a couple of weeks just came out. One of the prisoners that has been held here has just came out and said he was being housed in jail with Ryan Payne, and said Ryan Payne could see us down here. That other gentleman said he could see us, and Ryan Payne said to tell us hi. So they're both in the front of the jail here, right here by Patriot Corner.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And we got quite a few people out here that are hollering up at them. Got Brand here. So I'll give you a little court update in just a moment again, but
that's the hero. That's the hero, John Lamb. Nobody knows who I am. I'm irrelevant. This is John Lamb. Look, can I have your autograph?
He's the one facing the charges, and nobody knows him. I don't know how it is. So we had a. Oh, here we go again. So we had a long day, but a relatively short day in court with the jurors. The jurors were all sent home right at lunchtime. And the rest of the afternoon was just motions, discussing dropping some of the charges of dismissal, especially on Jake Ryan. The judge even recommended that those charges be dropped. I'm going to turn our camera around real quick, and we'll get some pictures of everybody. Here we go. They're waiting for us. There we go. You guys are live.
You guys are live!
Not guilty! Freedom matters!
Freedom!
So they've been yelling up for a little while to Ryan Payne and Ammon Bundy. And we got a megaphone out here, a lot of signs and everything. So we'll get you some more of our signs here too. But they did some great work on those, making them all up. I'll turn around here and I'll show you this other sign too we've got. I know I've showed them here earlier today, but we'll get you another. There we go. We got jury nullification out here. And we've got not guilty, Anna Brown, judge gone wild, which is really true. This is the jail up here. On the right-hand side, around that round glass area, to the right-hand side, third window down, is where Ryan Payne is. The far left side over here on the very corner, the fourth window down is where Ammon Bundy's at. So, going from the top.
Ammon Bundy!
Here's some more of our signs. Here's our jury nullification. If I can get the whole thing in there. There's some of the some of the prisoners are hollering from the jail right now, way up on the top. They can hear us up there in that big caged area. I don't know if you guys can see it out there, but there's a big round glass area, and just above it is the rec room. That's the rec room up there where they get to come out for an hour or two a day sometimes. At least most of our guys are no longer here. Ammon Bundy and Ryan Payne are over here just because they were here to testify, and we ended up not using Ryan Payne, but we did use Ammon Bundy, which everybody I think knows. We'll turn this around here again and give you guys some more updates from court. So get back to our notes. We mentioned yesterday about 4 of the witnesses that were subpoenaed that did not show up, and 3 of those names, and I may get this last name wrong here, but Alan Varner, he went by the name Wolf at the refuge. He was subpoenaed and failed to show up. An arrest warrant was issued for him. Another one was Fabio Menaggio, known as John Kilman. He was another one of the informants that was at the refuge, and he failed to show up. He is supposed to be here possibly Monday. They are working on getting him here by arrest or a warrant and having him held here possibly in the jail, and having him to testify Monday. So that is the plan. The other one is Will Coleman. He's from, I'm understanding, northern Washington, and he was a third one that they issued an arrest warrant for. So I know those 3 that they released the names today in court again, that those are the 3 that they issued arrest warrants out of the 4 witnesses that did not respond to the subpoenas. So I was told that Will Coleman, they're not going to bring him in to testify. I don't know what the repercussions are for him not showing up, but they've decided not to bring him in as a witness after all. But he did fail, and they did put a arrest warrant out for him. So the other two, I understand they're still trying to get them here Monday. Monday is going to be the last day of testimonies for the defendants. They claim that they can be done sometime early afternoon on Monday, and they will rest their case. And at that point, the government claims they may bring a few more witnesses in to rebuttal the witnesses that we've had. We had 16 witnesses today that were waiting up here in the courtroom, and the judge called them acclumative, said that we were under Rule 403, that we had too many witnesses testifying, and she excluded all of our witnesses besides 5 today. And now the prosecutors are planning on calling more witnesses, possibly to rebuttal the few witnesses that we did have. And so we're going to see how that plays out the first part of the week. We know that they're claiming that on Tuesday, if they have a few witnesses to come in and rebuttal the witnesses that we've already brought in, and then with closing arguments, we're hoping to be done on Tuesday with the rebuttals, the closing arguments, and everything. And Judge Brown is hoping to have even the jurors start deliberating as early as Tuesday, no later than Wednesday morning, she says. And if that's the case, if they have not come up with a verdict by Friday, she says she's going to keep them and not let them go home on Friday as normal, that they will continue deliberating. I doubt that the way I have observed the jurors, I doubt that they will go past Friday. But it's never no telling with the jurors. That's just my opinion right now of seeing things. I think we're going to get back a verdict fairly quick, and we're looking forward to that verdict. We had Tom Rummel, the sheriff from Plains, Montana, Sanders County. It's over in my home state. He came over and testified today on Jake Ryan's behalf. He was a very credible witness. He had high regards for Jake Ryan. He said he's known Jake Ryan and his family for over 15 years. And at Jake Ryan, in his words, he says, was his least concern of any citizen in the whole county of Sanders County in Plains, Montana. Jake Ryan, he said, was an upstanding individual, and he had high respect for that family. That was an awesome testimony coming from the sheriff of that county, and he was involved in the negotiations per se in having Jake Ryan, trying to get Jake Ryan to turn himself in. He did not arrest Jake Ryan, but he talked with Jake Ryan about turning himself in at one point. Other than that, we had Barbara Berg testify today. We had, and I'm bad at names again, but David DeCute, I'm probably not pronouncing his last name right, Tom Davis. We had Robert Jones, and then we had Jason Patrick's mom testify. It was a short testimony, mainly talking about Jason Patrick and Jason Patrick's father serving in the military and becoming sick with Agent Orange and dying when Jason Patrick, I think, was only 12 years old. That was a very emotional testimony. Jason Patrick was sobbing in the courtroom in that testimony, and but a very good testimony. His mother did just awesome up there. Barbara Berg, when she testified, she actually carried a Bible up there with her, and she put her hand on the Bible and swore to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, and all the truth. So that was very encouraging to see, and I know the jurors were paying attention to that. Instead of raising her right hand, she put her hand on the Bible and swore to tell the truth. We now have had three different defendants, three of the witnesses that took the oath just a little bit different, and one of those was I was talking about you, Barbara.
Okay.
Saying how you. So you want to say something a minute?
I think I've said enough
Come over and
today.
say hi. Come over and say hi anyway.
Hi.
Here's Barbara. So
Hi, everyone.
I was saying that you put your hand on the Bible. You carried your own Bible up there.
I brought my daughter's Bible.
Your daughter's Bible, yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. You're the only one that did that. But well, I appreciate that.
I
Others,
swore to God not to the
Yes.
queen on the throne.
2 other people said, "So help me God," also. But you're one of the 3, so I appreciate that. Thanks for coming. So we had Jennifer Applegate. She also said, "So help me God," and Butch Eaton did that also. So looking through my notes here real quick, we had Brandon Rapola. He testified in the last trial. He was supposed to testify today or possibly Monday. It doesn't look like he's going to testify. Right now, we know that Chris Ann Hall is supposed to be here to testify. At least she's one of the witnesses. The judge does not want some of these people to testify. And Michelle Fiore, she actually questioned why she was testifying and what involvement she needed with the case. And we all know that, just like many others, Michelle Fiore was a big part of this case when it was at the end through the whole thing, but towards the end of it for sure, on helping people get out of the refuge there safely. And we also have 2 other witnesses that Blaine Cooper's mom and dad, they're supposed to testify on Monday. And that's going to be a real interesting testimonies coming from them. There are some of the names I know right now that are supposed to be here on Monday. We got a pretty full day, and I would say Monday, Tuesday are going to be some big days and long days, finishing up with testimonies and closing arguments. Back to the point that they discussed this afternoon about Jake Ryan. The one charge that they have for him digging the trench, there are motions in and lots of arguments this afternoon of dropping that charge. Judge Brown even suggested to the prosecution that they should drop the charge. So there's a lot of pressure there on getting those charges dropped. Judge Brown was not fighting the charges to be dropped. She was actually encouraging the prosecutors to do that. So that's something, if everyone could, to please pray hard for that. That's an absurd charge, a charge that's totally uncharacterized and wrong. And so keep that in your prayers for sure. That's about the most of the interesting things I think I can think of right now. One little just thing that just interesting this morning, as we were getting started, Jason Patrick was just a couple of minutes late entering the courtroom, and the judge started chewing him out and telling him this was his last warning. She didn't need no more excuses. She knew he could make it here earlier, and he stood up and says, "Well, Your Honor, I was late because the train that I was on was an hour late being broke down coming in." And she said that she didn't believe that. She figured that he could call somebody. He said, "Well, I don't have a phone. I can't call anybody. I was on the train." And she says, she kept chewing him out and told him if this happened one more time, she was going to fine him $100. Before she even finished with her yelling at him and chewing him out and telling him that he didn't have no excuse, the prosecutor, Mr. Knight, stood up and says, "Your Honor, I apologize that Mr. Barrow, my assistant prosecutor, is late." And she says, "Well, I'm sure he has a good excuse." And Jason says, "I'm sure he does too." And then just before they even finished with that motion, she got a note from the clerk of the court saying the jurors were all going to be late because traffic. And the judge says, "Well, it looks like we're going to be a little bit late getting started." So, and Jason says, "Well, I'm sure they've got a good excuse too," from the courtroom. And she just glared at Jason. She was getting obviously upset with him. But that was kind of the highlight of the morning, I thought. And I thought that might be interesting to bring up. So, that's all for today. I'll try to have you another update tomorrow on just some other interesting facts, maybe at lunch. And but we're out of court tomorrow. We have no court until Monday. And I'll try to have you some more updates for what's going on in Nevada, and figure out what's all happening there. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody. And what's that?
Pan the group one more time. Patriot
Okay,
Corner.
we're going to come around and show Patriot Corner one more time. I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to walk through and show everybody again.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
So we'll start out with some signs here again. We've got Ammon Bundy over here, Joe Robertson, Ryan Payne, and again we know where Ryan Payne is up there. Here's our jury nullification sign. This sign has been really sticking out on the corner here of the street. A lot of traffic. So yeah, we've got a lot of signs out here.
Oh, wait, Judge John or Brown. You got the wrong side.
I think it's good.
Okay.
I'm going to go out here in the street while you're facing.
Please tell Jason Patrick, be thankful he wasn't tased.
Yes, that's right.
Jason, you're being called out.
So here's Patriot Corner here.
I'm late.
You're late again, but the jurors were too, right?
I sent a carrier pigeon.
Even Mr. Barrels was late. I mean, everybody was late after you was late. You made everybody late. It was your fault.
But the only one that had to get called out on it was me.
Yeah.
Right? When you get to the public train station, right? You walk down to the public train station. You don't have a cell phone anymore because you've been a year involved in this government tyranny, and you don't have the money or the resources to pay for a cell phone. So you're just, you're like back into 1970 where you needed a payphone. But payphones don't exist anymore. So you're sitting at the train station. Well, I would like to contact my lawyer, but I don't have the means. So I'm sure they can look it up on the internet that the TriMet is late. And so, but no, instead she wanted, and I walked in and sat down. I thought, okay, they've already looked it up and know that the train was late. Now she wanted to point it out. So she says, call. Well, how am I going to call? I don't have a phone. I don't believe you don't have a phone. I don't care what you believe. The truth is I don't have a phone.
That's exactly what you told her, too.
Yeah. I mean, you can believe whatever you want. You believe in the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, conspiracy theories. You believe in this big, giant conspiracy enough to have this magic show. You tend to believe enough in that to have this hearing, but you don't believe that I don't have the ability to call? Well, maybe your belief structure is a little mixed up, because you believe enough to spend millions of dollars to have this dog and pony show, but you don't believe me, given the fact that I'm in this tyranny, that I don't have the means to call you. Well, your belief structure is screwed up. I can't help that.
Well, thanks, Jason.
Sergeant Mo has to leave here. Marine.
Oh, yes.
No, but I'll say goodbye to the audience. Hi, John Lamb's audience and all the Patriots and supporters, P3 and loved ones, P3 that are out right now, and in my heart, hello to the P3 that are in, and prisoners of war. You guys just recognize the fact that we're fighting here for our liberties and our God-given rights, and we've got to do this together. It's okay to be home and showing support, but it's been about 7 months since I've been here. And I know some of the crowds with John Lamb have been both large and medium, and some days very small. Just because certain more prominent, known P3 are not in this particular second trial doesn't mean the crowd should be just a handful.
Yep.
A handful of wonderful people. And those people that are home for various reasons, I'm not speaking to that. We all have to rotate and be home for different reasons. I've been home for 7 months for different reasons. But rotate a little bit better, guys. The same people do keep rotating. The same people do keep coming back. And truly, Patriots, I've been watching the supporters and the Patriots alike, whatever you want to call yourself, liberty fighters and wonderful name right there. Americans, first and foremost. Non-bipartisan. We're not bipartisan here. This is not a bipartisan issue. This is a institutional education and issue. You all need to be standing here together without the politics and without the attacks. Stop undermining each other. Attack tyranny. Okay? Fight that. Use your voice. Use all the resources and means still available to us, like Chris Ann Hall often says. That's preventative care. Take all the necessary steps continuously and don't stop until all of us are being heard together. Whether you're doing it from home, writing letters and phone calls, there's so much you can do from home. Or whether you're showing up in large crowds in support of the people being held prisoner against their will, that you know were just peaceful protesters taking a hard stand for other Americans like the Hammonds, for other Americans like Skylar Barbeau, kidnapped before they were kidnapped, now they're kidnapped. The smaller the crowd, the less safe we are. The larger the crowd, in Pete Santilli's words, the safer we are, truly. We are so much safer if we're all in this together. So if you can, if you're able, get over here. And of course, take your days off and rotate. If there were bigger numbers, John Lamb would have more time with his family. If there were bigger numbers, all these good people that I've seen here, day in and day out and watch, also being attacked by other patriots and being undermined, being accused of being an informant, being accused of misappropriation of funds. Stop. That's not the issue. The issue is those men and women that have been taken prisoner from us Americans for doing good work for you. That's the issue at hand. Tyranny. Attack that. Don't undermine. Don't worry about that. We'll worry about that later. If people are misappropriating funds and doing wrong things unethically, we'll worry about that a little bit later. Can we get through the trial together first? Can we stand against the tyranny right now that's happening in this courtroom that I just heard Jason Patrick speak to you about? Can we do that together? Can we stop worrying about our personality differences? So what? Some people don't like my voice. So what? Some people don't like my opinion, a difference of opinion by the slightest. So what? Do you think I even care? What I care about is the same people you care about. If you care, work from home in multiple ways, find your niche. If you care, come here and find your niche. If you care, come here just to be educated. Learn, observe, and use your voice to tell others what you're learning. That's all I have to say. Good night.
Thanks a
lot.
lot.
Thank you very much. Bye.
You can see we've got some good people down here.
Yeah, wonderful people.
Yes.
And over all your audience too. Sometimes some of you, all you can do maybe just say a prayer, but don't ever estimate what one prayer can do to make the difference. So thank you for joining into this live feed for John, and then for joining us here on Patriot Corner
All
today.
of us, yes.
Yeah, you're great. You're the best. You have the best audience, John.
Yeah, we're going 3 for 3. We have a not guilty.
Not guilty.
This
Not
will be a
guilty.
not guilty.
Not
And
guilty.
then the last one, the third, Nevada, not guilty.
Not guilty
Exactly.
in Nevada too. Right.
We're going to
Kind
get
of a
it.
clean sweep here, guys.
That's right.
Boom, boom,
Well,
boom.
thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll finish off just showing you a little bit right here. And then our last few signs again right over here. And then we'll sign off for tonight. And we'll check back in with you about noon tomorrow. We have no court, but we'll have you an update from some stuff from Nevada and maybe some things that I forgot over here. So good night, everybody, and have a good night.